If you're like me, you said no to eXp Realty so many times. I think we've all heard it. The cold call from someone working in the Philippines. Hey, you should, so-and-so wants to sit down and you have a meeting. Or like the emails, the endless emails of someone reaching out. You should join eXp Realty. Da, 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 da. Hey. We've all heard it. And I can tell you, I said no for years. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why I said no to eXp Realty. Let's go. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge. On this channel, I share all my tips and tricks I learned on my journey of being in this industry of real estate, and also what it's like being at eXp Realty and why I moved here. And also this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me or schedule a Zoom call down below to have an honest conversation about whether eXp Realty is a right fit for you or not. Agents, team leaders, broker owners, I've talked to all of them, and I can tell you an honest conversation is sometimes all it takes to find out if it's going to be a right decision for you from someone who has hopped around at many other brokerages and has had experience a lot. So getting into the video, I said no to eXp Realty for at least probably 2 years from when I first started to really get hit up about it. So when I first got in the industry, I was at a national brokerage who was focused on veterans, and it was, it was another, copycat, and not that they're bad, but it was another copycat of eXp Realty in a way. And I think as soon as I got in the industry, the first thing I heard about how terrible eXp was, how it's spammy, it's a pyramid scheme, it's not good, it's terrible, and over and over, and then I just repeated that myself. But then all of a sudden you start to get what I think we all experienced was you start to get cold calls from people from the Philippines. Now I have people from the Philippines, so it's nothing against them, but you know what I'm getting at. They just have cold call centers that are just cold calling, trying to recruit people to eXp, or the emails. Hey, and I still get them too from random, the Raven group, but especially eXp Realty. Or every time you go to talk, an agent's hey, you want to hear about eXp? And instead of providing you value, you just feel like you're trying to get sold, and you're like, no, man, this is not what I care about doing. Leave me alone, And I think we all experience that, and that's why I said no to it for a long time. And that's why, once I decided to leave my first broker, I actually went to Real Broker. So if you haven't heard of them or seen them already, Real Brokerage Technologies is a knockoff of eXp. I was there for a period of time, about 6 months, and I see why people are moving there, but I can tell you that they missed the bar on a lot of things. But I felt I needed to go there because I'm you know what? It's not eXp. That's literally why I made that decision. It's not because they looked great or because it looked better when I was doing. I was well, it's not eXp, so it has to be better. And I can tell you that going off of and making your actual decision on everything by saying, well, it's not eXp, so it must be a good decision, that's stupid. That's dumb. Come on, stop kidding yourself. But I can tell you that most people that even I talked to about eXp, they just couldn't give me an honest breakdown of whether it would make sense for me, whether it was a good decision to make, or if it's the right one or the bad one. They just wanted to try and sell me so they would recruit me underneath and get involved. Obviously, I am at eXp now, but I said no forever because I got caught up in the hype and I refused to talk to anyone. And I was nope, I've seen enough already. Real Broker is the way to go, whatever. And then I joined, and I'm man, yeah, this isn't it. All right, it's time. And when I finally made the decision to go talk to someone from eXp, honestly, at first I was amazed that I finally decided I was the one to reach out. Instead of letting someone reach out to me, I decided to look up someone, and I'm you know what? Jesse Dow, my main upline, I reached out to him, and I'm hey man, I'm I don't know if this makes sense to me, but I'm ready to hear an opinion of what's all going on here at eXp. And I got an honest opinion of what it's like. The good, the bad, and it was the most honest conversation I think I've had in a long time. And I realized real quick that the reason I think most of us say no to eXp is we're just running across of the most people that honestly, they never recruit anyone. Because if you're not bringing, it's the same thing as when we have clients. If you're not bringing value to people and trying to help people, it's never going to work out. And unfortunately, there are bad eggs in every brokerage. Even who I joined under Real Broker was actually kicked out of eXp for certain practices. And it's you need to, all this came to fruition after I joined eXp and just started asking around and meeting high level people and all that things. But it's realizing that you probably just haven't talked to the right person. But it also might not be a fit for you. I am a firm believer. We all know, just because it's eXp, I love eXp, but the broker does not make the agent. If you can't get your business off the ground, no brokerage or broker is going to save you. it just isn't. So you need to come to that realization. But at the same time, like, when I sat down and actually had that real conversation, I realized, I'm like, okay, there's more to this than just the splits and stuff like that. And that's all great, but they had training, they had support, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know what? This is the place I need to be at. And I decided to take a leap of faith, and I went to it, and I haven't looked back. But also understand that, if that conversation went a different way, I actually might have said no. I'm like, you know what? It's not going to change anything. But I can tell you, like, especially at that time, being a really new agent, my first, really still green when it came to being independent, I was lost, and I really was about to leave the industry. I was done with it. I really wasn't getting any support at Real Broker. I felt like most agents were still out for themselves. And I was just like, you know what? I'm like, this is either going to happen, or I think I am going to leave and maybe go do insurance or something, because I love sales, but I don't like where this was going. And really, when I found the right group, I really got into it. And that's actually when I found that only 13% of all the agents in eXp actually have anyone underneath them, which means like most of the company are just out there, like, actually just helping buyers and sellers. I'm sure there's a whole another percentage of that just aren't doing anything. It just always is at every brokerage, and they're not making any money. But I found out that, like, it was crazy. Like, only 12% of agents at eXp actually, like, recruits is a bad term. Like, even like the agent that joined me, like, it was like, hey, like, I think you really, like, even though you're not at like the top, you're not like, Mike Sherrard, was an awesome guy, by the way. Don't discredit some of the people. He's awesome. Talk to him personally. But it's actually being like, hey, like, you're in the journey. And we continued with that at that time when I had first started this channel and started to go through all that. And it's just different. I think one of the craziest things that blew my mind was once I just actually found the right group at eXp that I fit into, that's when I was like, oh, I get it now. I get why this exists. I get why people make the switch here, and they're like, this is going to change the industry. Because it really does. I mean, half of the revenue of eXp goes back to the agents in form of revenue share, stock options. Like, it goes back to us. Like 50-50. And there are even times where there's not enough people with agents underneath them at eXp. The eXp has to give bonus checks to the people who actually are doing it. It's crazy. Now, does that mean that, like, the agents, like, aren't recruiting? No, to be honest with you, I think any high-level agent that has a lot of people in their downline at eXp is running mega real estate teams. Like, they're all still in the grind. It's insane to me when people just think it's only one way. But I can tell you, when you actually make the decision to learn more about it and open yourself into the world, it's nuts. I mean, man, it's just crazy. When I was still newer now in the industry, right? Like, I'm, still like under 5 years in the industry. But when I first got in, and you're in that position where, like, all of a sudden I joined eXp, I went from Real Broker. I felt alone. I felt like I had no support. The company is still fresh. Like, it wasn't there. And I'm like, God, I feel like I can't even call anyone or talk to anyone. But eXp, like, I have so many people I can talk to. Like, I have Mike Sherrard's number. I have my main upline that I can talk to that holds trainings every month. I have, like, weekly trainings just set aside from icon agents, like capping agency at eXp. I have, like, if you're a newer agent, you get a mentor. And, like, there's so many options for people that you can reach out to, let alone that you probably could just post in any eXp Facebook and workplace group, and you're probably going to get someone that says, I'll talk to you. I know what you're going through. It's insane, the support. That's what agents say, like, they don't, like, I don't have support at eXp. I'm like, where? Like, what? But I will say that I have seen agents join the wrong group at eXp, and they just hate it because they don't get any support getting onboarded. They don't get any, like, people reaching out saying, hey, what's going on? Even the people that join me, like, I make sure to stay in touch with them. Like, hey, how's it going? Like, just how's life? Sometimes it's not even business. It's just like, how's things going? Like, how's the wife? How's the kids? Like, like, what the heck's going on? Are you good? Market's getting a little tight here. How you doing? And it's making sure you find the right place that you see fit. And it might take you a couple conversations reaching out to me, or like Mike Sherrard, or you're like Ricky Caruth, like, and like the crazy people are like, Cameron, like, aren't you trying to recruit people on this channel? No, like, these are all amazing people. I've talked to all of them, and they're all awesome. But each one has their own niche and specific thing they're good at. So you need to decide, how's your business? Where do you want your business to go? And eXp has so many people that are just so growth minded. They're so willing to help people. Like, heck, even in San Diego at the time when I first joined, they had the Christmas party for Southern California. And, like, even the people there, I'm like, holy crap, these people are awesome. Like, everyone has a cool story. Like they're all willing to share secrets. Like it's not like, hey, no, these are my secrets. You know, it's like the whole company is just so growth minded. And the agents that leave to go elsewhere, honestly, they're probably people I would never get along with. And that's a God's honest truth. So realize, like, all in all, it's like if you're saying no, just really think about why you're saying no. Have you actually talked to someone who gave you a unbiased opinion of whether this made sense for you? Like even the people I talk to on a weekly basis, it's like, where do you want your business to go? You know, like what? I'm very firm in the cloud model, so I think any brokerage should have a cloud model. I love it. It's just, maybe it's my age, but I love it. I think it's going places and it makes sense. Aside from that, it's like, where do you want your business to go? Like, does it make sense joining a team? And maybe the team in your local area is a different brokerage. Maybe that's a right fit. But I think if you're saying no to eXp, you need to make sure you have an honest opinion, unbiased. So that's you, and you want to have a conversation about making the move to eXp, or whether it makes sense for you, whether you're a single agent, a team leader, or a broker owner. This number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me. Also, you have schedule a Zoom call down below. And even if you're a higher level than me, hey, it happens. I have partners that are more than willing to hop on the Zoom call, all the way up to like Chuck Fazio, who had a national brokerage before he came to eXp. All of them are willing to jump on a call with me. We can sit down and we can really go over like if this makes sense for you, or whether you should just run away, choose a different option. So hope you enjoyed value in this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.